Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lesson 4-4, Subtracting Integers, Part 1. Remember, as you proceed, you need to be taking notes. Those notes should include definitions, examples, procedures, as well as questions you have, and what is the learning target and the I can statement for the lesson. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed.
Player 3 goes last in the final round of Zombie Pretzel Attack 2. She loses 500 points when caught by 2 zombie pretzels. What's her new score? How many points does she need to catch Player 1? Tell how you found out.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where you want to pull up your companion page, and you want to pause the video to work on this. Don't forget the reflection at the bottom. That's an important piece. All right, go ahead and pause. Thank you for coming back. Let's compare your sheet or your answers to the solution page. Remember, the wording may not be the exact same wording, but if the gist is the same, then that means you're on the right track. If there's some differences, we evaluate what you wrote and see how what they wrote is different and do some self-assessing. Okay, pause to go ahead and do that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for doing that. Let's go ahead and get into the examples today. Okay, let's go and see what he has to say to us.
You and a friend are shopping. You have $15 before you spend $8. How much money do you have left? Subtract 8 from 15. You have $7 left. You can show subtraction on a number line. Imagine you are walking on the number line. Begin at 0, face in the positive direction, and move forward 15 units. The subtraction sign tells you to turn around. The positive number 8 tells you to move forward 8 units. You have $7 left. Turning around and moving forward is the same as moving backward. This number line model represents both the difference 15 minus 8 and the sum 15 plus negative 8. Subtracting 8 is the same as adding the opposite of 8.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to notice that he's saying 15 minus 8 is going to give you 7, and 15 plus a negative 8 is going to give you 7. This comes down to one of those things I typically say that, sometimes mathematicians are a little lazy and we don't write everything down. We often will write 15 minus 8 equals 7, and so this is what you have traditionally seen as 15 minus 8 would equal 7. But the proper way would be saying 15 plus a negative 8 is 7. Both are going to get you the same answers, so don't worry if it's telling you subtract 8 or it's telling you to add a negative 8. Remember, it's really telling you the same thing. And the negative sign's just telling you you're changing the direction. That's why this little dude turned around and started walking this way, because that's what the sign indicated he needed to do. Let's watch the second piece.
You have $7. You borrow money from your friend to buy a $20 sweater. How much are you in debt? How do you subtract 20 from 7? You can show subtraction on a number line. Begin at 0, face the positive direction, and move forward 7 units. The subtraction sign tells you to turn around. The positive number 20 tells you to move forward 20 units. You are $13 in debt. Turning around and moving forward is the same as moving backward. This number line model represents both the difference 7 minus 20 and the sum 7 plus negative 20. Subtracting 20 is the same as adding the opposite of 20.
Let's go ahead and go to the next. Remember, anytime you need to pause or rewind, please do.
Write equivalent subtraction and addition expressions for each number line model.
Okay, so let's see what Sarah has to say.
I like the idea that we can change subtraction into addition. We already have a lot of practice with adding positive and negative numbers, so we can use what we know how to do to help us do something new.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'd like for you to take this opportunity and try to solve this problem. So go ahead and pause it. Okay, thank you for coming back. Hopefully you realized that you were moving a negative 2, so that's how we have a negative 2. And then from there, we continue to move to the left, so we have a negative 5. So we can write this as negative 2 minus 5, or we could say a negative 2 plus a negative 5. On this one, hopefully you saw you at 0, and you moved to 6, which is positive. From 6, we went back 7 spaces, so that would be a negative 7. So we can write this as 6 minus 7, or we could write this as 6 plus a negative 7. Either way, we're going to get a negative 1. Okay, let's go ahead and check the got it real quick.
Which expression or expressions does the number line model represent?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, pause real quick and try to come up which number or which expression is this number line representing. Okay, thank you for coming back. So we can see that the number line was representing 2 minus 4 as well as 2 plus a negative 4, because we went up 2 and then we went down 4. So we can either say that is 2 minus 4 or 2 plus a negative 4. Okay, let's move to part 2. Okay, one thing I want to make a comment on is number lines don't just go left to right like we're walking. They can go up and down as a temperature, or if we're going up or down a mountain. So let's see what this slide has to say.
Between 6 o'clock a.m. and noon, the temperature rose from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 8 degrees Fahrenheit. By 5 o'clock p.m., the temperature had dropped by 10 degrees Fahrenheit. By 8 o'clock p.m., the temperature dropped another 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Write and simplify a subtraction expression for the temperature at 5 o'clock p.m. and at 8 o'clock p.m. Model each expression on the thermometer.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, at 6 a.m. to noon, the temperature rose from 0 to 8 degrees. So at noon, we're at 8 degrees. By 5 o'clock, the temperature has dropped 10 degrees. So we're going to go down 10. So we know that at 8, 9, 10, that's going to put me at negative 2 degrees at 5 p.m. Then by 8 p.m., it has dropped another 5. So I need to go down 5. So 2, 4, 5 right there. That's going to put us there at negative 7 degrees. Let's go ahead and check the solution to help with that.
Temperature at 5 o'clock p.m. The temperature rose from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 8 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature rising from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 8 degrees Fahrenheit is a change of 8 in the positive direction. The temperature dropped by 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature dropping 10 degrees Fahrenheit is a change of 10 in the negative direction. Rewrite subtraction as adding the opposite. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding negative 10. Eight plus negative 10 equals negative 2. The temperature at 5 o'clock p.m. is negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature at 8 o'clock p.m. The temperature dropped another 5 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature dropping another 5 degrees Fahrenheit is a change of 5 in the negative direction. Rewrite subtraction as adding the opposite. The opposite of subtracting 5 is adding negative 5. Negative 2 plus negative 5 equals negative 7. The temperature at 8 o'clock p.m. is negative 7 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so I hope that helped you, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more got it before the end of this section of the video. And that's if it loads. Okay.
The map shows the highest temperature ever recorded in the United States. The lowest temperature ever recorded in the United States was 214 degrees Fahrenheit lower than this temperature. Write and simplify a subtraction expression to represent the lowest temperature ever recorded in the United States.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, before I set you loose on this on your own, 214 degrees lower than this temperature. So how should we write 214 degrees lower than this temperature? That's correct. It should be a negative 214. The temperature they're talking about is over here in Death Valley. That's 134 degrees. So go ahead and pause the video and solve to find what is the lowest temperature ever recorded in the United States. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we had 134 for Death Valley. We subtracted 214, or we could say we had 134 in Death Valley, and we added a negative 214, and we came up with a negative 80. The lowest temperature ever recorded in the United States is negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the end of part 1 for lesson 4-4. Make sure that you watch part 2. Thank you very much.